Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am doing a very long overdue video and reviewing my Oura Ring. I asked y'all on Instagram what questions you had about the Oura Ring like a month ago, and I'm just now finally sitting down to chat about it, go over your questions, and just give you my honest review. First and foremost, I am not super technical and I haven't looked into every single thing that the Oura Ring has to offer and every single thing that it can do, how it works, etc. If you're looking for a more technical, specific, informative video, this ain't it. I'm sure there's plenty here on YouTube. I'm just gonna give y'all my honest review and why I decided to purchase it. In summary, I think it's well worth it. I got I need to look up which exact model I have. Okay, model and size, this is the Horizon Gold, size 9. You can go into Best Buy and they will have the little ring sizer there for you so you can see what size you are. I don't recommend just ordering it blindly because the sizes are not the typical ring sizes that you would get for jewelry. I'm a size 9 in this, and my ring size for my ring finger is a 7, and for my pointer finger is like a 6.5. You can also order the ring sizer through Oura to get that sent to you first before you purchase. But Horizon Gold, I have the Generation 3. This one, I wear gold jewelry, so that's why I got the gold. I liked the smoother circle. There's one that has like straighter edges, and that one's a little bit less expensive. So you do have options to get a less expensive one. You could do the silver, like I said, or the different shape, and it's a little bit less pricey. But I was worried about it being bulky and not being as aesthetic. So I wanted something that I really liked the look of. So to me, it was worth paying a little bit extra to have the one that I actually really wanted. I'm so long-winded. In summary, what I was going to say is that I think that my ring is well worth it. I got it for the purpose of tracking steps throughout the day, tracking my cycle, and tracking my sleep. For that alone, it is worth it. The caveat here, I do not wear a fitness watch. I only wear my watch when I'm running. So if you are someone deciding if it's worth it or not, but you always wear your Garmin, your Apple Watch, or your Coros, or whatever other smartwatch you have, then I can't say it will be worth it for you because obviously the smartwatch tracks all those things. I am somebody who does not like a bulky item on my wrist at all times. I will never wear my Coros all day. I'll never wear my Apple Watch all day. So that's why the ring was worth it to me. So I think that's a huge caveat. I basically got the ring to replace having to wear something on my wrist all the time. So let's get into it. I summarized y'all's questions from the question box. First of all was why I bought it. Like I said, I wanted to replace having to wear a watch all the time and still being able to track my steps, my sleep, and then also my cycle. I have not been on birth control for years. I know my body pretty well. I know I'm gonna get my period every 28 days. I know when I'm ovulating. I know what phase that I'm in my cycle based on just cues that my body gives me. I feel like because I've been off birth control for so many years, my body has been able to adjust and really be able to tell me what's going on. So I just thought it would be nice to know for certain and to kind of compare the data with how I'm feeling, what my Oura Ring is telling me. It connects to natural cycles. I already had the Flow app, and that's what I've been using for years. So I connected mine to the Flow app. They share data with each other to kind of come up with the best guess on when you're ovulating, when you're gonna start your cycle, and so on. It's obviously not going to be 1000% accurate all the time, but it's just good data to use and compare with how you're feeling. We are not trying to start a family yet. We will in the future. So it's just kind of nice to have, to just be really aware of my cycle and to also prevent, because we are not quite ready to have kids. So that was one of the biggest things. The other was I am very intrigued by how many steps I get in a day. 10K steps a day is a very arbitrary number. Somebody just made that up one day, I'm pretty sure, and said this is what we think. Of course, there's research that shows that getting in steps throughout the day is definitely beneficial for your health. Think about all the health benefits of walking and so on. And it's basically, to me, just like a fun marker of like, okay, I don't want to live a super sedentary lifestyle outside of working out. So I like to aim for anywhere from 8 to 10K steps a day. So it's fun for me to see. I also am such a nerd. I love seeing how many steps I got in on my run. Again, I'm not saying that you have to get 10K steps in a day, but for me, it's just fun to see that. And if I'm at like 9,000, it's nice to look and think, okay, well, I could get 1,000 more steps in. These are things that you would have to assess. Is that something I care about or not? The other thing that I really love is sleep. I love to track my sleep. I think that sleep is the most beautiful miracle. It's the best recovery tool you could possibly ever use. Sleep is the most important thing when it comes to our health, and I feel like it's often overlooked. Think about our bodies and all they're doing throughout the day. Even if you're not working out, you need sleep to recover. Obviously, I know it's a luxury to be able to get in that much sleep. I know moms are watching this right now and thinking that's impossible. Don't stress about it. But if you can, pay attention to the data with your sleep and think about the things that you could do to better it. Why not? For example, I know when I'm drinking, I know if I'm watching TV before bed, I know if I'm sleeping with the TV on or something, my sleep score is not gonna be as good. So it's fun to notice, okay, what things did I do before bed and I had a bad sleep score? What things did I do before bed and I had a really good sleep score? So don't let the data control you. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, this is nice to know if I really need a good night's sleep. These are the things that I should be doing or not doing. So I really like it for that. Like I said, sleep is just a very important thing for me in my lifestyle, and that's something that I really prioritize. So that data is very enjoyable to me. The watch versus the ring. So if you're trying to compare your watch to what the Oura Ring does, it kind of just depends on what watch you have, what model you have. I do know my Apple Watch Ultra will track my temperature for the cycle, for like ovulating and getting your period and all of that. I know it'll track your sleep. I, like I said, just don't like wearing that bulky of a watch. I'm pretty sure, I don't have a Garmin, but I'm pretty sure Garmin's can track your sleep and temperature. I would have to fact check the temperature thing, but I know that they can track sleep as well. You just have to think, do I want something on my finger or do I want something on my wrist? Also, looking at battery life is important. Like for me, my Apple Watch Ultra would be dead by the time I went to sleep, so it would be hard to charge it and still wear it to bed and so on. The Oura Ring, I charge once, maybe twice a week, and I just keep my charger at my desk. When I'm working, I will put it on the charger when it needs to. It'll send you a notification when it needs to be charged. And it charges very fast. I wanna say I don't need to have it on the charger for more than an hour for it to fully charge, so then I can just pop it back on and it'll track the rest of my day because I'm not worried about steps or anything like that when I'm sitting at my desk anyway working. That's kind of like watch versus ring. You kind of just have to decide on your preference. Do I want something on my finger that I can wear all the time? Would I rather just wear my watch all the time? And if you have a watch that has all of these features, then maybe save your money and just keep the watch and look at the data on your watch. I cannot compare how accurate the data is from the ring to my watch. I don't look at that data really because my watch for me is simply to look at while I'm on the run to see what mile I'm on and my pace. So if you're looking for somebody to compare the data of like heart rate, sleep, etc., I can't tell you because I wear my Oura Ring all the time. I only wear my watch when I'm running. This is just a quick insert as I'm editing this video. You wouldn't be able to use the Oura Ring in place of your watch for something like running because you can record your heart rate through the Oura app or record a workout, but I wouldn't be able to just like look down at my ring and see my pace, my heart rate, etc. Whereas the watch will just show up for you when you start your run. So I wanted to clarify that. I wouldn't get the Oura Ring in place of a GPS watch for running or in place of a watch that you would wear for exercise. Maybe if you're somebody who doesn't care about pace and all of that, then it wouldn't matter as much for you and you could record it within the Oura app. But I did just want to clarify that if you're running, you would still want a GPS watch or to at least have like Strava pulled up or something like that. Do I wear it while I run and do I wear it while I'm lifting weights? Yes, I wear it when I'm running. If I'm feeling like my hands are really swollen from the run, I'll take it off. I actually wear my rings a lot when I'm running, but when it's super hot and my hands are swelling, I will try to remember to take them off because it's just more comfortable for my hands. But I feel like the Oura Ring is super comfortable even when I do have swelling. So I wear it during the run. I take it off when I'm weight training. I actually will just keep it on the straw of my water because let's say I'm doing like a leg press or something, I could remember to like put it back on, or if I'm walking on the treadmill before I start my workout. So I'll just throw it on here or I'll tie it in my shoelace or put it in my locker because you could wear it when you're weight training. You can get little silicone covers for it, but I spent a lot of money on mine. I don't want it to scratch from dumbbells, but it will track that you're working out if you are wearing it during weight training or bar, Pilates, whatever. Like it will know that you're working out, but I personally just choose to take it off during weight training because I don't want to scratch it. If you really wanted to be able to track that, like I said, get the little silicone cover to protect it. Battery life, I kind of already touched on this. It'll last me like 5 days. I want to say I charge it every 5 days. I think it would go longer if you weren't somebody who, like me, is training for a half marathon and this sucker is going when I'm running 2 hours at a time. So I think that plays a role, and how active I am in it losing battery life a little bit quicker. But like I said, super easy to charge. It charges really quickly, and then I just throw it back on. I was worried about getting into a routine of that, like would I forget to put it back on? But once you're used to wearing it, you'll know that it's missing off your finger and you'll remember to grab it off the charger. Is it bulky? Yes, I was so worried about this. I just was like, ugh, it's kind of ugly. It's kind of like, it just doesn't match the aesthetic of my other jewelry. That I quickly got over. I think it's great. I don't even think it looks funky now. Is it bulkier than something that I would choose to wear? Yes, but you just get used to it, and I actually don't think it looks bad at all, especially when I have my other jewelry on. The cost / subscription, I don't know what you could use if you didn't pay for the subscription. You'll have to look that up on the Oura's website. I just paid in bulk for the year. I think it was like $70 or something. To me, that's well worth it to be able to see all of the data that it gives me. So I don't know if you could buy this without using the subscription. You would have to check, but again, to me, I feel like it was well worth it because I care about this data. I look at it every day, and that's less than $10 a month. So again, you have to decide if you think it's worth it. Does the data influence my training? Yes and no. I feel like the data is there to be helpful. I don't obsess over the data. I don't look at the data to determine the rest of my day. If I'm already not feeling really well and I go to check my ring and I have a bad sleep score, my temperature is higher than usual, that will kind of help me confirm if I need to take extra rest that day or decide to opt for something lighter. I don't let it necessarily control my training, because part of training too is letting your body adapt and learning how, like for example, I'm gonna run a marathon, let's say. On mile 13, I'm gonna be running with a very tired body after already doing 13 miles. So it's kind of like in training, you're mimicking that by, yes, I'm tired, but I'm still gonna go out for my recovery run because that's part of the training. So I don't really necessarily let it influence my training too much, but it is a nice confirmation of like, oh, I'm just not feeling very well today. I'm achy, I'm run down. Let me check my sleep score, let me see what my body temperature is at. And then if those things are really bad, it's kind of an indicator of like, okay, I'm actually not feeling well, I should take the extra rest. So yes and no. Do I think it's data overload? Again, I think you just have to make the conscious decision to pick the things that you care to look at and not let it sway you either which way. I don't think it's worth obsessing over. I've already been there, done that with my Apple Watch. I used to be obsessed with the Apple Watch. I had to close my rings. I had to burn a certain amount of calories in my workout. I think since I'm over that hump, this really does not affect me in that way. If you're somebody who that is gonna be a problem for, then I think that you should not get the Oura Ring. I don't think it's worth it. If you are going to just obsess over the data and try to hit certain numbers all the time, not worth it. My favorite features, I know I've said this already, but the sleep score and seeing like REM sleep and all of that, I think that's really fun. I love seeing the steps. I also think this is really interesting. There's a stress feature and it kind of shows you when it thinks you were stressed throughout the day. And I think that's fun, again, to compare, like, okay, was I actually feeling stressed today? Was my heart rate just a little bit higher because of something else? So I think that's a really fun one too. Accuracy, I'm not sure. Again, I think this is data that's good to use as like, look at it over the course of a month or a couple of weeks and kind of see where your data trends. I think that's a better way to look at it than saying like, I burned exactly this many calories, I slept exactly this amount of hours. You can't be that exact with it because of course, any technology that we have is always striving to become better. So again, I think it's like helpful to look at, but don't take it as 1000% truth, because anything could happen to this ring that maybe something's off, maybe there's water stuck underneath it. I think listening to your body is always super important. So don't let the ring control and take over from you trying to be in tune and listening to your body. I will say there was a girl who did a pedometer and the ring at the same time to see how it compared, because I've heard that people think the steps aren't accurate and like a little bit too generous with your step count. But she did the ring and the pedometer at the same time. She put them on the same side of her body and they were only, I want to say like the variation in steps was barely anything, and she had over 20,000 steps. So I want to say it was like less than 100 steps different, which to me makes me think that this is pretty accurate comparing it to a pedometer. All that to be said, of course, listen to your body, use the data like kind of as a general trend versus obsessing over the exact numbers every single day. And then sizing, that was the last thing. I already kind of mentioned this go to Best Buy, they have it in store, so you can just size it there and you don't have to worry about waiting for shipping and all of that. But you also can buy the sizing ring on the Oura website, have them send that to you first, and then order your ring after that. That is a pretty generalized overview. Y'all had a lot of specific questions and I just tried to break it down into categories. So I hope that was helpful. Again, if you're looking for a super technical data overview and all of that, I'm not your gal. I'm sorry, but I'm just not. That's not how I operate. I'm telling you why I like it and what boxes it checks. And then y'all obviously have to decide if it's worth spending the money for you and your lifestyle. Like I said, I think it's perfectly worth it. I'm loving it. I plan to wear it always. Maybe I'll get sick of it eventually, but to me, it's already been worth the price, and I'm just really liking this data, and it kind of helps push me to want to get good sleep and to want to get my steps in and stuff like that. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If y'all have any other questions, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I guess I'll leave this here. This wasn't too chatty. It says this was 18 minutes, and I'll obviously cut this down a little bit, so I'm hoping that this wasn't too long and it gave you guys kind of the information that you needed. Thank you for being patient with me. I hope y'all have an incredible day. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any other videos. If you want to leave a little request for what video you'd like to see next, definitely do that. I know I've been really slacking on my YouTube game, but I'm doing the best that I can. So thank you guys. It means the world when y'all watch, and we'll see you guys next time.